As most of you guys know, Adler is a very small, kind of bespoke company out of Japan. They make some of the most incredible football boots on the market, including the Horenzo and the Yatagarashu. Today's video is all about a custom pair of Yatagarashus. So let's get these unboxed. I am very, very excited about these. Super huge thanks to @LockhartBootBlog on Instagram. Andrew is amazing, and Adler for getting these sorted. You get the very nice Adler box, and then over on the size chart, just Noah Cavanaugh, 26 centimeters. So for those of you who don't know, Adler sizing is a little bit weird as far as kind of all four of their sizes. I go down a full size in my US sizing from a 9 to an 8 US to make sure the fit is really good. I actually have my pair of Yatagarashus here, which I've beaten to crap, and these new ones are gonna be just about the same. So as we open the box, oh yeah, get a pair of Adler Real-Line insoles, which is a partnership that they have put together. These insoles are absolutely fantastic. They give you really nice support and cushioning underneath your midfoot. So if you are somebody who wants that little bit of extra cushioning, you can do that. And then there's a little bit of information about the Real-Line company. Very nice. And then this is a thank you. Basically, I've read it in a previous video, but that's a really nice little card there from Adler. And then this actually comes in, instead of the boot bag, you get this kind of, well, yeah, the shoe bag comes now in this more custom thing. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, my custom colorway number 1. Boom. Red and gold. How absolutely beautiful are these? Oh my days. With a shoehorn as well. They came with a shoehorn. So, so cool. Okay, let's get these out of the box. There you go. Oh my gosh, those are cool. Okay. Whew, I am absolutely thrilled with how these came out. I do have a second pair, which I think that video will probably come out first. So you guys have probably seen the blue ones already. But if you haven't, then you will in just a little bit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Adler Yatagarashu, why they are so special. This is essentially a direct competitor with the Morelia 2, which is this boot right here. So the Morelia 2 is kind of Mizuno's classic football boot. The Yatagarashu is also their classic football boot that has been really updated and made to feel just absolutely incredible on feet. So if I get this little shoehorn out, it's very nice that they gave these as well, so you can put that in. But as soon as we take that out, you'll notice how insanely, incredibly soft this upper is. These are absolutely beautiful feeling. This gold color shines really nicely. It's a little bit less aggressive gold than some other boots on the market that I've had before. One of the other actually inspiration boots for this colorway is these Speed Flow pluses. So as you can see, that's kind of the difference between the two gold colorways. So this is a little bit more of like, I don't know, like a tan brown gold as opposed to like a metallic crazy gold. But I really like the red and gold color combo, and that's sort of why I went with the red and gold. I think this is just going to look really nice. And then I've got a personalization back here that's sort of close to my heart. And overall, as a boot, this is just one of those football boots you have to try in order to understand what this is like on feet. So from a tech feature perspective, it doesn't look like there's a lot here, but there's actually a ton going on with the Yatagarashu. This is a full K-leather upper with a very simple and effective sole plate. You get it stitched all the way across the upper. So whether you're on AG or FG surfaces, you're gonna get really good durability out of these boots. I have had zero issues with any of my Adler boots at all. You do get a Adler insole, which is super, super simple. As you can see, it's just a single layer of foam, very, very chill. You can obviously add the Real-Line insoles, and then inside you can see the full Carvo plate that goes from tip to the heel, and it adds quite a bit of structure and snap, like a very impressive amount of structure and snap, which I absolutely love, along with a little bit of structure here in the actual like sole plate outsole itself. And then you have the laces, which are called Itogo laces, which is a very unique and complex braiding pattern. And it's a company out of Japan, I believe, as well, that Adler has used and partnered with that gives you a little bit more texture so that when you tie the laces really tight and you get them on your feet, it actually creates a much better locked in sensation. You do have kind of a zigzag pattern here as well for a little bit better structure and lockdown, and of course a runner's knot here for a little bit of extra lockdown, and the runner's knot. So that is the tech of this football boot. It's one of those boots that really looks simple, but it's got a lot of these really interesting and I wouldn't say complex, but very mindful additions to a boot that, if you look at the Morelia 2, for instance, I would say that the Morelia 2 is very conscious because they've had it out for so long and they've made such incredible sort of incremental changes. But as far as the tech goes, I do think that the Yatagarashu is better in that sense because it does have the Carvo, it is more responsive, it has a thinner leather upper, so if that's something you're into, then great. If you can see the stitching pattern on these two boots as well, so you can see how there's a lot more stitches here on the Yatagarashu than there are on the Morelia 2. Of course, you have the cross-stitch edition of this one, which is more similar to the Yatagarashu. But the leather on the upper of the Yatagarashu actually feels a little bit more structured because of that stitching pattern. And what that'll allow you to do is get into a boot that, for all intents and purposes, feels a little bit more classic on feet, but then you get all these performance benefits of the Itogo laces, or Itogo laces, excuse me for the pronunciation, the leather upper that's not going to overstretch, pretty decent sole plate, and then the kind of the star of the show, which is that Carvo plate across the entirety of the upper, which makes for these boots being exceptionally snappy for what they are. And that is why Adler football boots, the Yatagarashu in particular, is one of, if not the best leather football boots on the market. And I am so thankful to, obviously, Andrew for setting this up, and then the team at Adler for getting these over to me. I think this is an unbelievable pair of football boots with that customization, and I am so excited to start to wear these. Let's get on feet, and I'll show you guys what they look like and how they fit, why I went down a full size. I'll show you guys kind of where my toe sits, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Adler needs to do as a brand to grow if they want to get outside of the Japanese market, because they're a very small company and they don't have a whole lot of ability to expand because of the personnel they have. But I do think, at least I have some ideas of how you could bring such incredible football boots to a little bit of a larger audience. So let's hop into it. All right, fam, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the backyard. So sick. Okay, gold and red, custom Adler Yatagarashu. I'm gonna imagine that these boots are gonna be exactly the same fit-wise that my red and blue ones are, but they're they're red and gold, so they're gonna fit absolutely amazing, and they're gonna look incredible because they look so good out in the sunshine. All right, here we go. Getting my feet inside. Oh my days. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. The fit and sizing of the Yatagarashu is a little strange. I do, as I said in the original part of the unboxing part of the video, I do go a full size down. I could also fit in a half a size down. I just choose to go a full size down because once these break in, they are like an absolute glove. But right now, my toe is way up on the end of these boots. It's one of the tighter fitting pair of leather football boots that I own, particularly straight out of the box, but they fit really well, generally speaking, and will absolutely be wonderful for kind of, as I start to break them in future. You guys will definitely see a play test on these ones. I don't know if I will bring the blue ones. I might bring the blue just to do some B-roll of the blue ones. Again, they're the exact same shoe, exact same materials. They're just a difference in color. So you guys won't probably see play tests on both of them, but I kind of want to do a play test on the gold and red because they just look kind of flashy and fun, even though the blue ones are probably my favorite boots in my collection now, which is pretty sweet. So here's what they look like on pitch and on feet. The blue, or excuse me, the gold and the red looks really sick. It's very different. I'm looking at like my reflection in the garage door, and they're very interesting and unique. I really like them. Maybe not my favorite colorway, but I thought I had to do a second pair that was a little bit out there and a little fun, and definitely a pair that I'm going to cherish playing in because they are custom to me, which is awesome. So again, thank you to Andrew and thank you to the Adler team for sorting this out. Now, from a tech features perspective, we talked all about the tech in the unboxing portion of the video, but in terms of how that tech comes together for a cohesive feeling football boot just in general, the leather upper is absolutely sensational. It wraps my foot really, really nicely in all the different areas. There is an extra lace loop here, even though I have zero space on the outside because the leather stretches and molds so quickly. Maybe not stretches quickly, but it molds super quickly, and then it does stretch over time. The heel area as well is really nicely constructed. It's very soft, it feels very premium, and I haven't had any issues with slippage in any of the pairs of Horenzo or Yatagarashu that I have worn. From a fit and sizing perspective, the Horenzo fits identically to the Yatagarashu from a length perspective, but it does fit slightly narrower. So I would recommend going, if you are a narrower foot shape, just go with the Horenzo. It fits pretty much the same. If you are on the wider side, I would definitely err on the side of the Yatagarashu, but that's just my own personal preference. If you want to do the same, I fit in both. I just don't fit in the Horenzo as well as the Yatagarashu, whereas the Yata I fit in perfectly. Touch on the ball with this leather upper is absolutely brilliant. It's very barefoot feeling. It's one of the thinnest leather uppers on the market, considering it's only basically two pieces. It's the leather and then that micro kind of super small mesh lining that goes on the inside. And the combination of both of those creates this very, very barefoot feeling, cohesive feeling kind of sensation on ball as you're manipulating them. I wore my Yatagarashus in training a bunch with Flower City, and they are absolutely brilliant. The Carvo insert is very noticeable because it keeps the midfoot really structured, so it keeps your midfoot super straight, super flat, and then it also gives you that snapback as you kind of move forward and push off from your toe area, which creates a really awesome sensation of classic feeling, but also very responsive. And so you get the comfort and the performance out of these football boots. And they're just so meticulously put together that I think, yeah, it's just really hard to go wrong with a pair like this, and particularly in a colorway that you get to choose. It's really, really cool. So again, from a tech features perspective, no different than any other Yatagarashu that I've reviewed on the channel. I just really wanted to show these to you guys because they are custom to me in terms of the colorway. And this is exactly the same boot that you would get if you were to buy one of the regular pairs or if you were to do a custom color made to you. So either way, you're getting this exact same boot. Again, go half a size or a full size down, depending on how tight you like your boots. If you like your boots more sort of just comfortable as opposed to super sharp and super tight, just go half a size down. But if you're like me and you want your boots to be really sharp and tight, I go a full size down and I get a really, really nice fit overall. So give you guys a last look at the boots before we wrap up today's video of the custom Adler Yatagarashu. Absolutely stunning football boots. I am so excited to get these out on pitch and start to play in them a little bit more. If you guys are interested in discount codes for the Miter footballs or the WeFoot grip socks, I'll leave a link down in the description box below. They are both excellent products and I love partnering with both brands, so definitely go check those out. That'll be it for the review of the Adler Yatagarashu. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.